we'll gather around, feel the love come down. Blue elephant is strong, together we belong. In every comment.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So we are starting today with some happy mail. Now this is from Pam Clark, and oh my god, do you see how large this mold is? This is well, both of these molds are the Julie Cuts mold. They're the large turtle and the large frog, and oh my god, Pam, I have some really cool ideas on what to do with them. And then some nightlights, which I'm super excited about because I've been really wanting to do them again. And all kinds of UV DTF stickers, scrapbook paper. Like, look at this, Pam. This is, I don't even know what to say. I really don't. Like, thank you so much. There were so many goodies in this box. And come fall time, I'm pretty set on all kinds of different stuff that I can add into my resin projects. The pine cones, honestly, like, it's like you were reading my mind. I have been wanting some small pine cones for a long time, hoping that I could find them on the ground, but alas, in my area, there are none to be found. So, yes. But honestly, Pam, thank you so much from the very bottom of my heart. Like, this was just amazing and really made my day. So, thank you. Okay, on to today's project. Now, we are using the Let's Resin Daisy soap dish mold. And by Let's Resin, I clearly mean into resin. And we're going to use some of this little pygmies. Oh, I can't speak today. Yep. We are going to use some of this little piggies. It's the Interference purple. It's called Twinkle. I just want to kind of play around with these colors some more and see how they react in resin and all of that good stuff. Now, I mixed up way too much resin. Typically, I go the other way around and I don't mix up enough. And I'm looking at this mold, and I mean, it's not a huge mold, but sometimes looks can be deceiving. So I was like, all right, I'm going to mix up 8 ounces of resin because surely if I do any less, I'm not going to have enough, and then I'm going to have to mix up more. And I really wasn't trying to do that. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. It's so silky. Oh, it's beautiful. So anyway, quick spritz of alcohol. Yes, please don't be like me and do that. I just wanted to make sure. There are a lot of cutouts in here, and these flowers. There's also not just the daisies that are like right there that you can kind of see, but along the sides of the mold, there's also leaves and all of that kind of stuff that you want to take your time and slowly go into all of those crevices with your silicone tool or a dotting tool or something like that to make sure that the resin is getting in there and you're not going to have any air pockets trapped in just all of those areas, right? So I did pour a little bit of resin, and honestly, it was pretty much just enough to completely cover the bottom of the mold. And I worked at it for a couple of minutes, just getting in there, making sure that I'm feeling around with my silicone tool, because you can't see it even when you're looking in there because of the way the mold is formed. You really can't see what all is in there. So use the feeling that you're getting when you're going around with that silicone tool to get into all of those little grooves and all of the things, right? I poured a little bit more in, did the same thing, worked that resin around in there very slowly. And I'm just going to keep doing this until I know that this mold is completely full and that I have worked out any air bubbles going around the lip of the mold so that I don't have any stuck under there, because we all know they like to hang out and have a party in those areas. And then, just because I made a mess when I was going around, I am going to wipe off the sides of the mold because I don't want to have to do any trimming later on if I don't need to. And then we're going to fill it up to dome it, right? and give it a quick spritz of alcohol and set this baby off to the side to cure. Now, because I want to say it only took probably about 3 ounces of resin. Like, I had so much resin left over. I decided that I just recently got this little jar mold, and I really need something else to kind of keep my tools in some kind of organized fashion. So I thought it would be good for that. Now, I did go with a little bit of alcohol ink, and I just used Let's Resin's purplish red. It's one of my favorite colors of alcohol ink, just in general. And added a few drops in each the top and the bottom before pouring my resin in. Went ahead, poured the resin in. Now, of course, I didn't have enough. Go figure. I should have known better, but it's fine. It's fine. It's just for me. Honestly, what I should have done was not make the lid because I don't need the lid for what I intend on using it for. So it's kind of just a waste. But at this point, I was already committed. So we're just going to go with it. And I kind of wanted to see, because I've not used it before, what it looks like. Now, what I'm doing now is when I put in the drops of alcohol ink, it kind of stuck to the sides of the silicone. And I don't want it to stain my mold if at all possible. Now, reds typically like to stain. So, not that it's going to really cause an issue with the mold. You're not going to get any of that to transfer over onto any new projects, but I just wanted to not have it in there. So, I kind of went along with my silicone tool, rubbed up against the side, and then let it go. Now, I did have some clear left over for another project, and off camera, I filled it up as far as with what I had left. It did not completely fill the bottom of the mold, but it filled it enough that it's usable, if that makes sense. Like, it's covering that hole where your pens or whatever can go into. So I'm not super worried about it. Now, this is 24 hours later, and I think it turned out quite pretty. I like the way that the alcohol kind of dances in the resin, or the alcohol ink kind of dances in the resin and gives it the swirls and just the little spotches of colors and all of that. Now, because I did not fill up nearly enough, we do have some trimming to do, and that's fine. And you can see when I was mixing up my mica, I did not mix it up enough. There was some spots on there, but like I said, this is for me, so it really doesn't matter. Now I'm going to trim off all of these sharp edges, and that's just because I don't want to get cut. Resin cuts are as bad as paper cuts, maybe worse. Like, they hurt and they tend to bleed a lot. So I don't want anyone else to get cut either. So I'm just going to trim this up. I'm not doing anything special with this piece. Like I said, it's just going to be so that I have something to put my pens and markers and all that in, or paintbrushes or whatever. But all in all, it turned out pretty cute. All right, now the moment we've been waiting for. Now it's time to unmold this daisy soap dish and see what we have. So, first impressions, it's smaller than what I thought it was going to be. The mold makes it seem like it's going to be much, much bigger. It's fine. It's not a complaint. It's just smaller than I anticipated, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, what I will say is I did not pick the right project to showcase that mica powder, that interference powder. You really can't see any of the purple coming through. And honestly, it's because of all of like the crystal facets and all of that stuff. You can see it on the petals of the flowers, but as far as the rest of it, you cannot. So this was just, it wasn't the right choice of micas or of molds to use that for. So we're going to try it again at a later date and see what we have. But what I want to do today is, I obviously don't want these white, and I know from seeing this mold done in another video that there was no way I could do what I did, like how I did it in the last video where I mixed the colors and poured it into all of the flowers and stuff like that separately. This was going to have to be an after the fact thing, just because there are so many tiny little areas that have detail in them. It just wasn't going to work. And honestly, you can't even see most of them when you're looking at the mold. So I decided that I want to do black, white, and gold for my colors. I thought that it would pop really well against this white background that I have, and that it would be really pretty. So I'm just going to kind of go through and paint this real quick. I will be back towards the end of the painting and we'll talk about how I'm going to finish it up to keep it safe against water ruining the paint and all of that good stuff. But before I bounce, this next song that I am putting on, um, it's a heartfelt message from me to each and every one of you. So I hope you enjoy it. All right, guys, I will catch you on the flip side.
The blue took me by surprise, like 1,000 stars lighting up the skies. Through the highs and lows, they stand so true. My heart beats loud for the elephant crew. Blue elephant family, my guiding light. Through storms and shadows, you make it bright. With every cheer, every moment we share, you're the wind that lifts me up in the air. They saw my dreams when the world was blind, gave me strength in them, I've always found my kind. In their glow, I've learned how to shine. Blue elephant crew, you're forever mine. Every step, I know I'm not alone. Your love's the strongest place I've known. I owe it all to the ones in blue. This journey's ours, and it's all for you. Blue elephant family, my guiding light. Through storms and shadows, you make it bright. With every cheer, every moment we share, you're the wind that lifts me up in the air. When the world falls silent, you roar so loud. Wrap me in your strength, my unshakable crowd. Blue elephants painted in every hue. Forever grateful, I'll sing for you. When the world falls silent, you are so loud. Wrap me in your strength, my unshakable crowd. Blue elephants painted in every hue. Forever grateful, I'll sing for you.
Okay, so I'm back. Now, as I kind of finish up just the last minute painting and making sure that everything is completely covered and all of that good stuff, um, if this were to be used as an actual soap dish, you couldn't just keep it like this. You are going to have to do something in order to seal in that paint so that it's not going to come off, when water gets it or you go to clean it or whatever. So what I'm going to do to kind of solve that problem is I am just going to take some of my gloss varnish and I'm going to paint it over top of all of the areas that I painted. Now, if this gets into areas that aren't painted or whatever, it's fine. It's not going to make a difference. It dries clear. It dries glossy, but it dries clear. So you don't have to worry about seeing it. Now, when you're doing it, you want to do thin layers, let it dry. I would recommend doing at least 2 to 3 coats of this just to make sure that everything is super, super sealed in and you're not going to have any issues, especially if you were to give it away or sell it or any of those good things. You don't want the paint and all that work that you've put into it coming off. So go over it, light coat, making sure that you're covering all of that paint, let it dry, do another light coat, do a third one, let it dry, and then you're good to go. Now, anytime where I was putting it on and it's kind of like puddling up, especially in the petals of the flowers, I did just kind of brush it away just to make sure that it's a thin, even coat, right? You don't want it to get all stupid and look dumb or anything like that. Make sure your brush strokes are even, all of that good stuff. Anyway, That's a wrap on this one, guys. Like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. I will see you guys on Tuesday in the next one. Love ya. Bye.
Blue elephant is strong. Together we belong. In every comment right, you lift me to new heights. Your support, it's clear, gives me reason to cheer. Blue elephant crew, this one's all for you. You make dreams come true with everything you do. Each subscriber's heart playing a vital part. Videos we share, showing how much we care. Likes and shares, they grow. You make